The world is never going to be the same again.
I'm worried about the world.
The mass chaos and crises that there was in the world, it's going to be just like that now.
This is not an accident.
How long is it going to last? Longer than even for those of you that have some cash in the bank, way past your cash reserves.
Out of 100 people, 4 will get the message.
This thing isn't going to be over in a few weeks. This thing isn't going to be over in a few months.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, we see the entire crypto market corrected just a little bit. We see pandemonium on crypto Twitter. People very sad, very emotional. People's psychological temperament is very fragile. It shows weakness. It shows a lack of preparation. But all I'm telling you is, the bull gets bullish when he sees the market bleed out. 12% bleed out from XRP, now at 93 cents. That's a great entry point. 10% bleed out from Stellar, now at 28 cents. That's a great entry point. These are great entry points. Ladies and gentlemen, this across the board is what we live for in crypto. We love the run-ups, but some people can't tolerate the crashes. The crashes is where you make wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, during the peak of the crypto bear market, that is when geniuses became millionaires. But unfortunately, during the crypto bull market, that is where people think they're geniuses. We need to understand that real geniuses, they take advantage of opportunities like this. And one more thing before I continue, I'm officially tired of Bitcoin. Bitcoin going up or down affects the crypto market way too much. This antiquated technology, it needs to be dethroned. The more it causes volatility in the crypto space, the less we as an industry will be able to move along. That is only a fact. Bitcoin is not stable. But regardless of that fact, I need you all to hear this. We are in a confirmed bull market, and in my opinion, we are not done yet. My good friend Rob Art, an absolute sniper with the charts, has stated the last explosive phase of the market is coming. Then comes the blow off the top moment, and many millionaires will be made. Rob Art was calling every single new low we experienced during the crypto bear market, and has been signaling every higher low we will be achieving during this bull market. I have no reason to believe we will not hit a minimum price of $10. Keep this in mind. We are not done yet, but, and this is a big one, the narrative and stage are set for a drastic crypto collapse and a drastic collapse of traditional markets. This health crisis, it already imploded the system. The system is on life support. It's on life support through fantasy economics, but the fantasy is coming to an end, and we may just have seen a catalyst that is revealing, showing what's truly going on in the background. We see here from CNN Business that China's facing a potential Lehman Brothers moment. Wall Street, they state, is seemingly unfazed. And this makes me very skeptical indeed, as they are building the perfect narrative to ensure that a collapse does happen and they have an excuse. The implosion of Lehman 13 years ago this week showed how the collapse of a single entity can send shockwaves around the world. Echoes from that event are resounding today as a massive property developer on the other side of the world teeters on the brink of default. The risk is that the collapse of Evergrande, a Chinese real estate company with a staggering $300 billion of debt outstanding, could set off a chain reaction that spreads overseas. Some people fear that an Evergrande meltdown will have a systemic risk on par with the impact Lehman had on the US stock market. Ladies and gentlemen, I tend to agree, as Evergrande is scheduled to pay interest on bank loans Monday with a 1-day grace period. Monday and Tuesday are public bank holidays in China, and these authorities have already told major lenders not to expect repayment. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to see this timeline of Evergrande saga in 2021 that are leading to this systemic risk of a moment, this potential catalyst, this Lehman 2.0. When we start from June 9th, 2021, regulators in China instruct major creditors to conduct stress tests on their exposure to the developer. June 20th, the group sells further stakes in its internet unit, Henten Group. June 22nd, Bloomberg reports several large banks are restricting credit to Evergrande. July 13th, a court in Jiangsu province ordered the freezing of a 132 million RMB bank deposit held by a unit of Evergrande at the request of China Guangfu Bank. July 28th, Evergrande drops plan to declare a special dividend less than 2 weeks after flagging it to investors. July 31st, Huabei Mining Holdings says its construction unit is suing Evergrande over an overdue 400 million RMB payment. Evergrande says parties are disputing whether payment under the contract is due. August 2nd, the group agrees to sell stakes in internet unit. August 19th, the People's Bank of China summons Evergrande executives to talk and issues a warning that the company needs to reduce its debt risks and prioritize stability. On August 25th, piping supplier Yonggao says in a Shenzhen exchange filing that Evergrande owes 478 million in RMB in commercial bills, of which 195 million is overdue. August 30th, the group's electric vehicle unit warns it might have to delay car production unless it can secure more capital in the short term. The Hong Kong listed this unit had reported a loss of 4.8 billion for the first 6 months to June 30th. August 31st, Evergrande says its total liabilities hit a record of 1.97 trillion RMB, mainly due to swelling bills to suppliers. It also warns investors about the risk of default. September 6th, trading in Evergrande's bonds is suspended following abnormal fluctuations. September 8th, the group plans to suspend interest payments to loans to 2 banks on September 21st. September 9th, it was reported that regulators signed off a proposal for Evergrande to renegotiate deadlines with banks and other creditors. September 13th, Evergrande failed to repay its WMP. It proposed that investors choose to accept 10% of the principal and interest of the matured product now, and the rest via 10% installments quarterly, payment by property assets, or by using the outstanding product value to offset home purchase repayments. September 14th, Evergrande said in a statement that property sales will drop in the normally buoyant month of September because of waning confidence among homebuyers. September 15th, Chinese authorities told major lenders that Evergrande won't pay interest payments due next week on its loans. September 16th, Evergrande's onshore unit halted trading in all bonds after a domestic rating cut. And now, this is the fall of Evergrande. 19% correction in a free fall. Could this be the initial catalyst for the global implosion of stock markets? Lehman 2.0. Your guess is as good as mine, but I've been calling for this implosion of all markets for a long time. And ladies and gentlemen, let me make this clear. The Blackswan event that can't stop the crypto bull run. It's out in the open for everyone to see. The stock market is an external variable that can halt the bull run. Nothing can stop the crypto bull run other than things outside of crypto. You have to keep this in mind. This is very, very interesting times. So your question may be, what should you do? In my opinion, crypto is perceived to be the riskiest asset class, but in reality, I believe it is the safest. Within 3 to 5 years from now, more millionaires and multi-billionaires will be made from this asset class than anything that exists. And any type of correction or crash that may come is only a blip on the radar. 50 to 70% crash in crypto, is it possible? Yes, it is. It always is. I personally think we're going to hit a bull run first, and then the collapse of stocks. Then we're going to see things like this. It already reads that the Dow has tumbled 900 points on Monday. But this is a narrative at play here that could be the reason why stocks truly implode. After years of being squeaky clean, the Federal Reserve is surrounded by controversy. The Federal Reserve is having a meeting to talk about ethics, and I think it's hilarious that the Federal Reserve and ethics are being named in the same sentence. Ladies and gentlemen, reports in recent days indicate that Fed officials have been trading stocks and bonds that could be influenced at least indirectly by their decisions. The Fed lives on its credibility, and some of the recent problems could dent that. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fed has no credibility. We do not trust them, and Mr. Whale has been showing this for a long time coming. The Fed has been accumulating millions of dollars worth of securities, and now this is a great opportunity for Fed officials to dump holdings for ethical reasons, quote unquote, and truly collapse markets. Remember, the news for the masses. Remember, the classes never lose. The 1% never lose. It's always the retail investor that is the collateral damage of them selling their bags. We always get the short end of the stick, but right here, right now, we are projecting and anticipating proactively what they're going to do. Do not get it twisted. They're going to crash the stock market. And September has always been a month where they go after it. We still have to see what could happen. But this is an external variable at play that cannot be unnoticed. We also have Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen renewing her call for Congress to raise or suspend the U.S. debt ceiling to avoid a widespread economic catastrophe. This is also at play. $30 trillion in U.S. debt is at play. Could there be a default? Ladies and gentlemen, let me make this clear. I think they'll raise the debt ceiling, but if they don't, my oh my, that will be something to behold. I've always said the U.S. is a third world country wearing a Gucci belt, and it is because we are the brokest country on the planet. We used to be an economic superpower. We used to be the wealthiest nation in the world, but we got greedy. We were swiping our credit card into infinity and beyond. We are a nation built of things that we cannot afford. And trust me when I say that has dire consequences that I believe we're about to experience. But all that being said, let's pivot our attention back to crypto as the narrative is being built of why crypto will collapse after this bull run. This is a speculative FOMO bull run, not a utility bull run, and that has weight, that has significance. The reason that's important is because prices will not be stable. Price stability will come with utility, but right now this is just speculation. Remember the other day when Jeremy Hogan stated, crypto exchanges are selling what we believe are securities. These are Gary Gensler's quotes. Make no mistake, we're going after crypto exchanges. There will be no warning shots or clarification first. And we see here on Bloomberg that the US's Binance probe has been expanding to possible insider trading. Binance has been in a really, really bad light over the past couple months, and I think more of it is going to come. We also see that South Korea is clamping down as over 60 South Korean crypto exchanges are going to suspend services this week. Regardless of anything being said in this video, I have a couple things that will stand true. XRP and Stellar, to me, will signal the end of this crypto bull run. You need to take some profits off the top of all your cryptos before this bull run is over. The biggest mistake I made in 2017-2018 was not taking profits. That does not mean sell your entire position. That means maybe 25 to 50% of some cryptos should be taken profits from. Keep that in mind. But also keep this in mind. A lot of people are asking me, yo, Bull, why don't you just take all your crypto, sell it at the peak, anticipate the correction, and buy back in? Well, that's dangerous too. The reason is because more people have lost money waiting for corrections and anticipating corrections than in the actual corrections themselves. A lot of people, they're always waiting for the correction, waiting for the correction. An example is myself with the stock market. I thought we were going to collapse in 2018, 19, 2020. We eventually did see that correction in 2020, but that had its intervention at play, and we're still in that bull run. Plenty of money could have been made by me during that, but I was buying cryptos instead. I do not regret it, but that's just an example of what anticipating corrections can do. The anticipation of corrections is wasting opportunities, and me personally, I would rather go through crypto volatility for the most part than be on the sidelines. Keep that in mind. Any corrections or crashes are only a blip on the radar. Everything is going to the moon. That's a high quality long-term investment crypto. Don't forget that. We do have this Tether narrative at play, as Tether and other stable coins need stricter oversight. They say this is a threat to financial stability. And guys, all I have to say is that there is nothing good happening in the world today as far as finances are concerned. This is the delayed systemic reaction to all the government intervention and the financial crisis we should have been experiencing in 2008 and in 2020 from this health crisis. Did you really think we were going to get away with no consequences? Of course not. We're about to feel the complete wrath. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. While this video had an ominous tone, it's in preparation of what will come. In my opinion, we are going to see some price appreciation from crypto still. And trust me when I believe we are at the peak of this bull run, when there is no runway left, I will be warning all of you. In the meantime, hold strong, or buy the damn dip. As always, guys, I appreciate every single one of you. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
I get 24 hours a day, just like Beyonce and Jay-Z. You get 24 hours a day, ladies and gentlemen. What do you do with your 24 hours? You need to get more information. In our coaching program, all we do is drop content nonstop. And people are like, wow, I didn't know that. Wow, I didn't know that. See, you don't even know what you don't know. How did you let me come from behind and clip you? Do you guys know the studies show the better we look, the more money we make? Which means your website should pass the eyeball test. Your truck should pass the eyeball test. Your people should pass the eyeball test. You should pass the eyeball test. Everybody in this room has a promised land somewhere, but you can't be stuck on the city you like. You got to hear God and go to your promised land. Your promised land might be Utah. Your promised land might be Minnesota. Your promised land might be Wyoming. Hear me clearly. You better use your money to get information and access, and you better be flexible, because a real shark is flexible. Can we stop fronting and get real about this thing? And if I can do it, you can do it. I knew nothing about life. I knew nothing about business, but I had the right mindset, and I learned it through sports. And y'all got to hear my story so you understand. I didn't even start on my college basketball team. I came off the bench. At the University of Minnesota, I came off the bench. But in my mind, you can bring me off the bench, but I'm an NBA ball player when you get through talking. When you get through, I'm an NBA ball player. And that's why I would walk around and say, you can't check me. You can't check me. You can't check me. If I was you, I would walk around every day and say, I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I declare it right now. I'm worth millions. I'm worth millions. I will receive my salary right now, but I won't accept it as my value. So whatever you receive right now, receive it, but don't you accept it as your value. Because there's more out here for you if you change your mindset.